No, you kept a piece of stinky cheese in your Bible. Hey, it's the second week of the month, and that means it's time for Bum and Psych.
Bum and Psych. Bum and Psych. Bum and Psych. Bum and Psych.
That's right, it's the vlog series where I tell you about 3 things I'm bummed about this month and 3 things I'm psyched about this month. Here we go. Bum number 1. I'm bummed that the video that I did last week was kind of a bust. I mean, it wasn't a bust. It was probably not a bust to the people who saw it, maybe. I don't know. It was unusual for me because I made a decision to do something and then I realized, no, that's not something that I want to do. And I didn't decide until it was already done. And I am on a journey in terms of the kind of content that I want to make and the kind of content that I think will be best for bringing more people into the Dr. Pants sphere. And so a bummer that I scrapped the video, but we move on. Bum number 2. I feel old, guys. I mean, you can tell I'm not spring chicken or anything, but I feel old, y'all. It's just, it's different. It's different once you get to be a certain age. You start to really feel it. And I'm still working hard, still doing everything that I do. But man, there are days where I'm just like, I feel old. Maybe you can relate. Bum number 3. I miss my friends. Especially those who I don't live in the same city with. Some of whom I used to get to see more often back before we had kids. And I certainly don't blame my children for anything. Or I should say I don't blame having children for anything. Yeah, there are a lot of people out there whose, faces I would love to see again and who I'd love to spend time with, and someday I hope that I can, but until then, it is what it is. That's one good part about social media, is that I do get to actually stay in touch with a lot of these people, so in some way. So there it is. All right, now 3 things that I'm psyched about. Psych number 1, it's hard to find bums. I'm sorry. What was that? I feel old, but yet I am also 12. It's hard to find things that I'm bummed about that I think are really even worth talking about. Like, most of it, it's like, oh, it's first world problems. Not only is it first world problems, it is first world problems of somebody who, like there are things that I have that I know that, a lot of other people I know don't necessarily have, and I'm very, very lucky. So it's hard to find things to talk about that I'm bummed about that I feel like are worth talking about, and that is probably something to celebrate. Psych number 2. My children, as I mentioned them earlier, my children are amazing. And I know everybody thinks their kids are amazing, I get that, but my kids, my gosh, they really are amazing. And they do things every day that make me laugh, make me proud, and I don't talk about that enough. I may be this guy who's still trying to be, a musician and all this, and sometimes we don't think about, at least maybe you don't like to think about, musicians that you listen to being parents, but we totally are, some of us. And so yeah, my kids are amazing, and it's something that I celebrate every day, or probably should celebrate every day. It's important to say it out loud. Psych number 3, new single out on Bandcamp as of Friday. A song called Tiny Little, which I'm very proud of, and I hope it's a song that brings some perspective to some people who want it. I'm not going to say need it, because you may need perspective, but if you don't want perspective, then perspective comes off as unwelcome, okay? But for the people who want some help kind of keeping perspective on life and the world right now, I hope it's a helpful song. But yeah, I'm proud of the recording that I ended up with, and so yeah, it's available on Bandcamp right now. It's going to be available on streaming services on the first Friday in April. But I'd really just rather that you go just drop $1.50 on it and buy it now, because that's going to be, that's more beneficial for the artist in the long run, is if you go and actually pay for the music as opposed to just streaming it on the service of your choice. Because boy, it takes a lot of streams to make up that $1.50. I tell you what. So anyway, but that's it. That's the good news, is that there's a single out, and I hope that everybody has a fantastic week this week, and that you have things that you're psyched about in your world, and maybe not so many bums. I hope it's hard for you to find bums too. Okay. I'll see you guys next week with, I'm not sure what exactly yet, but we'll figure it out. If I didn't have my usual energy level in this video, it's because I decided to shoot it first thing in the morning. I'm tired.